What's up, YouTube? Joey brings it back again. Cali, listening to some old school on the iTunes. Got my daughter's captain's band right here. Have a big game against Bakersfield this weekend. Um, Girls U12 Club Soccer. Can't wait. We're gonna rock it. And we got a one package mail day today. Hope you guys like it. We're gonna be talking some T206 with the polar bear backs. These are all raw. They're going to be graded and ready to roll into my PSA set registry. Joey brings it. Polar bear and rare backs. Here we go. First up, Hall of Famer, Huey Jennings. Nice centering. Classic Hall of Famer there. That nice polar bear back. Next up, another Hall of Famer, Jimmy Collins, Minneapolis. Gorgeous T206 card. Fabulous centering, bright red background. And polar bear back. Next up, from Pittsburgh, Mr. Maddox. T206. Gorgeous again, great centering. Vintage Pittsburgh uniform. Look at that blue undershirt with the red stripes. Gotta love the vintage. And that polar bear back. Next card up in this package, from St. Louis National League, Mr. Willis. Again, nicely centered. With that nice polar bear back. And finally up, Philadelphia National League, Sherry McGee. All you T206 enthusiasts, relax. This isn't the Sherry McGee. It's not the error card. It's not the one that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. This is a regular polar bear version with the blue background. May not be worth thousands, but it's sure a pretty cool card. Sherry McGee. So like I said, all these cards right here, I'm going to send them into PSA. Hopefully they'll do well. I'm shooting for PSA 2.5 all the way up to 4. 4.5 on a good day. And if I can hit those grades, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to take this opportunity to showcase the other T206 polar bear backs that I have. All graded PSA. All on my set registry. Here we go. Hall of Famer T206. John McGraw. PSA 3. This is the one that got it started for me. Once I got my hands on this card right here, I knew that polar bear backs were going to be my concentration. It keeps me sane. It keeps me focused. And I'm able to have fun. I'm able to be competitive. And I don't go crazy. If you try to collect each and every back, if you try to collect every card, you're never going to do it. The monster will eat you alive. Have a concentration. Collect your favorite team. Collect your favorite backs. You'll have success. You'll have fun. And that's the way to go. Next up, another Hall of Famer. T206 Polar Bear. Addy Joss. Coming in at PSA 3. Very nice card. Beautiful pink background with the off-white. Love this card. The polar bear back. Awesome. Next up, T206. Polar bear back. Al Bridwell. Coming in at PSA 5. This is one of the nicer cards that I have. Super, super great centering. Sharp corners. Red background just really pops. And a clean, clean centered polar bear back. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. I love it. Next up, T206 Polar Bear, Paul Davidson. PSA 3, nicely centered, green background. And the polar bear back. Awesome. Next up, T206 PSA 4.5 VGX Doc Crandall with the polar bear back. Look at nice centering. This is really a nice card. I love it. Red background and a clean centered polar bear back. It's really tough to do. These polar bear backs are usually off centered. And when you get a nice one, you'll get a pretty good grade. Really cool card. Next up, T206 polar bear back. Joe Lake, St. Louis. PSA 4 VGX. Again, pretty cool centering on the front. Can't complain. And that polar bear back. Next up, one of my favorite T206 card. Polar bear back, Mike Donlin. PSA 4. Awesome centering. I love that vintage New York uniform. High collar. Look at that old school bat. Really great example of a vintage card right there. Vintage portrait. Really nice. And a clean polar bear back. Next up, T206 polar bear back, Shad Berry. Coming in at a PSA 3. Next, T206 polar bear back, Admiral Chalet. Coming in at PSA 4 VGX. Again, nice centering. Red background really pops. I love those red background cards. A nice polar bear back. PSA 4. Next up, T206 Art Fromme. Coming at ya with the overhead fastball. PSA 3. Really good looking card. Nice polar bear back. Next up, T206 Ambrose Putman. PSA 4 VGX. Really nice card. It has a lot of nice colors. Got the yellow and green. Polar bear on the back. Let's see what else we're going to listen to here. How about some old school again? Ghetto Boys. T206 Polar Bear Jake Atz. PSA 4 VGX. Nice Chicago old school uniform with the high collar. Beautiful portrait there. Awesome polar bear back. Next up, T206 Polar Bear John Anderson. PSA 3. Polar bear back. Next up, T206 Polar Bear back John Hummel. PSA 3. Polar bear. Here's another one of my favorite cards from the T206 Polar Bear collection. Bill Chappelle. PSA 4 VGX. What I really like about this card again is the red background, but I really like that pose. Have the old school Rochester uniform, getting ready to throw the ball. And to me, that's classic vintage stuff right there. With the polar bear back. Next up, T206 Harry Krause. PSA 4 VGX. Nice looking card with the blue background. Polar bear back. Next up, we got a T206 Dan Mueller. PSA 4 VGX. Nicely centered, sharp corners, red background really pops. And a pretty much absolutely perfect polar bear back. I think I'm going to resubmit this card. I've had it for a while, but the more and more I look at it, I think this card definitely is going to bump up to 4.5, and that'll bump the value up. Costs about $5-6 to resubmit it, and definitely worth the risk. I think it's going to bump up to a minimum 4.5. I'll let you guys know how it goes. This card is definitely undergraded. Next up, T206 Lou Ritter, PSA 3. Really cool card. The polar bear back. Next up, T206 polar bear back, Gus Dorner. PSA 3.5 VG Plus. Nicely centered. Again, my favorite red background there. Really pops. Look at that old school vintage uniform with the high collar. Beautiful, beautiful card. Nice portrait. And a really nice polar bear back. And final card I'm going to show you guys today. T206 Larry Shafly. PSA 4 BGX. Again, nicely centered. Beautiful blue background. Gotta love that Newark uniform with the high collar, portrait. Gorgeous. Perfect polar bear back. No tobacco stains, nicely centered. One of my favorite cards right here. Alright, I hope you guys like my little showcase of the T206 cards. Check it out on the PSA set registry under Joey Brings It, polar bear and rare backs. You guys have any interest, any comments, let me know. I'll be coming at you soon with another video. Signing out from Cali, Joey Brings It.